Hey, how's it going? I am Rakaba18. Today I am bringing you yet another concept video in Rainbow Six Extraction. Now, I am loaded into Rainbow Six Siege here for one simple reason. This is a concept video about how I would envision Rainbow Six Siege operators being added to Rainbow Six Extraction, because that's what we're probably going to see. Eventually, I would imagine a good bit of, or if not all of them, will end up being added from Siege to Extraction. I don't know how that's going to work. They've not given us much of a roadmap in that regard, but I would imagine at some point we're going to see a good bit of these. And so I wanted to go through and kind of conceptualize what I think it's going to look like. Now, I want to preface this as I always do and say that I don't have any inside information. This is not based on leaks. I'm not basing this information on any privileged information. I'm not under any kind of NDA. So just take this as a fun little conceptualization of what I think it could look like. I will not disclose any information that is not that is under any kind of like legal protection. This is not based on anything that that is other than my imagination. So just keep that in mind as you watch these videos. So I will start with one interesting thing. This is the MP5 SD, which is a force silenced gun. And as you can tell, this is a gun that is already in extraction with Hibana. So I would imagine that we're going to probably see Echo have this exact gun. By the way, we are working on Echo here. I don't know if I stated that for the record, but this is an Echo video. And so with Echo, I think you're probably definitely going to see the SD here, the MP5 SD. You'll probably see him get a shotgun and then one other gun maybe, and some secondary guns. Less of a concern what guns he's going to have than it is how his ability will look. So let's take a look at how I can see this happening. So Echo is a sort of a recon area denial type of operator. He deploys these drones, as you can see there, and you can then take control of them. Now, in Siege, they don't move around. They're static. So as I am right here, you can't move it forward or backward unless you move them, deploy them in a specific way. And then you have to, the only thing you can do is bring them down or bring them back up. So they go vertical, but they don't move left to right. Where they are deployed is where they will be utilized. Now, that is one major change that I can imagine in Extraction, is I bet these are going to end up being a free roam sort of drone. And I bet you that in Extraction, this is going to be sort of conceptualized and modeled around having them basically replace an XR recon drone. If you have an Echo, he's basically like an Echo recon drone. That's number one way I can see these being envisioned. Now, in addition to having these cameras that you can access to gain information, see my operators right there. Let's say in Siege, for example, somebody's coming through that door and I need to stop them. I can go down and up, and then I can also deploy this sonic burst, which will temporarily disorient them. I also think Extraction is going to see something like that. I can envision a number of different applications for that, whether it's a knockback like Zofia, or a knockback impact grenade, whether that's a stun, whether you can deploy smoke. Who knows? There's a number of different ways that can happen. I hope we don't see this become a little bit overpowered, in that, like, let's say, for example, there are a bunch of Archeans down here, and we deploy that, and then all of a sudden, everything in that area up to a certain level of Archean is eviscerated. I think that would be a little overpowered. If you see that at all, it'll probably be a max level 10 operator thing. And I would imagine that it's only going to go up to maybe grunts or spikers. I would not imagine, or even like smokers, bloaters, and breachers. I wouldn't see a world in which this eviscerates smashers or anything like that, or obviously apexes. I don't think you'll see it work on like high level ops, like rooters, or high level Archeans like rooters, or lurkers, those kinds of things. I think we'll probably deal with like a knockback or some sort of stun effect. I think that this is a great example, by the way, of a way in which a direct application of Echo can probably be translated directly into Extraction. So let's say there's an infinite number of shots in Siege here. So I'll also wager that you'll probably see an infinite number of shots. Or maybe they'll make them static. Maybe they'll make them 10 charges that gets better as you go. Or it recharges over time and you end up with like 4 that you can use, and then they recharge every couple of minutes or something. In Rescue, I can see this being a direct translation. So let's say There's a bunch of Archaeans right here. Boom, do a knockback. Your team runs in, grabs the rescue target, and out you go. I can see it being utilized as an area denial. Let's say you're completing a sabotage rescue or a sabotage defense, and you need like this point locked down, knock your target back. Now, the one thing to keep in mind, and I think you're also going to see this in Extraction, is that Echo is vulnerable here. So if something comes up behind me, I'm going to take damage and start to lose health. So you're going to want to have your team cover that. Probably you're going to want to probably use those as a self-defensive thing. So we'll see how that interacts with the like that vulnerability interacts with some of the tech and some of the gear and stuff. I would imagine he's probably going to be a little bit more fragile as a result of that because they've got to balance it some way. I don't think you'll see him be one of the faster operators. I think his utility and his ultimate is what they're going to probably balance and center it on. And so there's going to be drawbacks to playing him, and they have to do that through how fast he moves, through how much damage he takes, that kind of thing. If I had to guess, I would say he probably will be one of the slower ops, just because you don't want to play him in a way you want to use these drones to the maximum effect. And if he's doing that, he doesn't need to be moving around very fast, right? So I can see that kind of happening. And I think that this is how you'll end up seeing him in Extraction, as a sort of very easily translatable direct for direct sort of way. I do think that you're going to see once more, I do think one of the biggest differences is you're going to see this drone be movable in a more freeform fashion. You're going to be able to fly it around like an XR drone, essentially, is what I think you're going to probably see. So what do you guys think? What should the max level progression look like for this op? How do you think I maybe have gotten this wrong? What do you think I should have gotten differently? Who would you like to see a concept video on next? Please let me know in the comments below. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. This is going to be an entire series, so we're going to do a bunch of these, and I'd love to know what you guys want to see next. So also remember that I am live Monday through Thursday, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, over on Twitch at Merkaba18. Please go check out the live channel. I do this every week. So thank you so much for watching. See you again in the next video.